you'll see your taxes go down. You see all the people that wouldn't like that to happen, who have benefited from, you understand? They've turned the regular homeowner into a special interest group because they say, hey, but that ill-gotten gain, that's equity on my side of the equation. So, hey, man, just shut up. Go along to get along, man. Hey, shut up, man. It's like, oh, my God, help us. God, help humanity. We are all so freaking evil at this point. I don't know what to say, but God help us. God help people to be honest with themselves and to see it. And to say, I'm backing away from this unholiness, ungodliness. This guy's right. We got to stop this problem. We're feeding this thing $50 billion a year, and it's getting worse. Poverty's growing. You've got plenty of crime because of all the desperation that's been induced from this extremely desperate poverty. We've got the dubious wars and all this shit, all this crap looming. That national debt that just keeps getting worse and worse, and nobody's talking about stopping it and turning it around. Where do you think it's headed? Put two and two together. And all these people working in the social welfare industry, without the poor, they wouldn't have jobs. Okay, without the poor, they would most of the crime would disappear, and think of all those jobs that would disappear. Okay, without the national debt, think of all 25% of Americans employed in the social welfare, in the financial services industry, all those jobs would disappear. In the military-industrial complex, the same thing. It's sick, man. We need help, God. God help us just to be honest and just admit the things I'm saying, because I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And nobody else is talking the way I do. I don't hear it anywhere. Okay, I don't listen to everybody. But Alex Jones has a huge array of guests. Okay, and you know what? But I don't hear anybody talking the way I do, and people need to hear it. People need to hear the truth, the facts, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And it is all to do with the money printing class and these high-ranking politicians that need to be held accountable. They need to be exiled to an island and figure out who's going to pay that debt on their own. All those people in the Federal Reserve and those Congress and Senate that put their stamp of approval on that. And if there was presidents too, like Bush and Obama, because he put his stamp of approval on that thing, they all need to go together. Bill Clinton, oh yeah. God will decide when the earth is populated enough, not pseudo-elitist, scumbag, ungodly humans playing God. It's perfectly normal to be considered abnormal in a wholly pseudo-normal world. Why are so many that prescribe to the overpopulation theory in favor of unbridled, unmitigated immigration? I've wondered that. It seems like the same kind of people that say you're bad if you don't want unbridled immigration are the same ones that keep saying the earth is overpopulated. We got to depopulate. They're on the side of this whole global warming hoax, global climate change hoax. All these liars, cheaters, thieves, and hypocrites, elitists on their way to hell. The idea that anyone would feel threatened by me is in any way bothers me by offending my sensibilities. That's true. It's the kind of guy I am. Although we often may struggle to be exactly the person we want to be, we know that we wouldn't want to be anyone else. It's a neat thing, God put in us to be like that, You say, as many idiosyncrasies and failings I have, and much as I would like to change about my own personality, it's interesting when you think there's nobody else on earth that I'd really rather be than exactly who I am. And you can think the same thing. It's a very intriguing aspect of the human personality, It really is. It's something that God put in us, like a fail-safe. This whole, you got a conscience, and it's your umbilical cord to God, and it's this idea that nothing can separate us from His love, though we can choose to feel separated and engage in this kind of thought behavior, that thought behavior, this sin or that sin, this wrongdoing. But ultimately, it's our connection to God that determines who we are. Who we want to be is exactly who we are at the end of the day. We don't want to be anybody else. It's so intriguing to me. It's a phenomenon. You're delusional if you think you are prosperous if you cannot afford to purchase your own pad. That's right. That's the best metric for prosperity. First, Trump's got to slow, then stop the runaway train of economic tyranny, and then manually switch tracks. If it's okay if one is born rich, then it must be okay for all to be born rich. Yeah, if you don't think there should be laws against people being born rich, through inheritance, the silver spoon syndrome, then you can't be opposed to anybody. Then there shouldn't be laws that everybody's born rich. And especially when our Constitution and God allows that. Okay, this is granted, these rights and entitlements come from above. This is not a communist thing. This is not a Robin Hood thing. This is not a socialist thing. Okay, yeah, if we let capitalism work, this is where it would lead. It would be a means to an end where there was full, universal, absolute freedom for everybody and prosperity. That's what I'm talking about here. Nothing to do with numbers and money. Okay, it's just a state of affairs that we could have if we demanded it. Okay, but it's a big deal. We're really far down. I mean, we're in bad shape. Okay, really, we've fallen really, really far, and people got to get that through their freaking heads. Just what bad shape we are, how this pimple has been allowed to fester and swell. And, you know, these people just want to ride it like a wave. They're riding the wave, right? Oh, no, don't let it get too big. No, bring it back down. Oh, it's going to pop. It's getting bigger. It's growing. But I'm in that pimple. I'm part of that pus, and I just want to keep on growing. Ugh, they make me sick to my stomach. Just don't pop it. Don't pop it. No, let it grow. No, don't give it good things that are going to make it go away on its own so it doesn't even need to explode, right? It could just subside of its own accord. Don't let that happen either. You just want it to be there as a big fat thorn in the side of regular, everyday human beings at large. Americans and every other nation on the earth. You just want to keep on economically raping us, tyrannizing us, and oppressing us. Okay, that's it. This is how it's done. It's through the monetary system. And it just keeps getting worse and worse, more and more acute, more and more pernicious. Damn it, we're not mushrooms to be fed crap and kept in the dark, nor are we frogs to be slowly boiled. We're Americans. Right, there you go. Another Chris Credit quote. Nowadays, you're considered an anomaly, an enigma, if you are logical and stand up for the truth. Isn't that really the way it is? Homeless folks put fire under the butts of the renting folks. The fire under... Oh, no. Homeless folks are the fire under the butts of the renting folks. That's right. So that the people paying these exorbitant rents and mortgages, hey, you don't want to pay it? Fine. I got people waiting in the wings to pay more. They're outbidding you. We got Airbnb. Okay, so, you know, we got the upper hand here. This thing's got legs. It's got momentum. It's got inertia. We're going to push this envelope as far as we can. We're going to let this pimple grow as much as we can before it gets popped. Or somebody starts feeding it something healthy and it starts subsiding on its own. No. You look, that guy dying under the bridge, that'll be you. You either pay that rent. I don't care how you come away. I don't care if you got to get Section 8. I don't care if you got to go on food stamps. I don't care that you can't raise a family. You got to abort your children. You just keep paying those rents and mortgages, man. I'm your overlord. You're the rentier class. You're the commoner. You're the proletariat. Die. Don't care. I've successfully fixed prices and manipulated markets and colluded with special interest groups, including the government. So up yours, buddy. Pay the rent or die. Isn't that the way it is? If you could choose only one or the other, that is, one, all the labor on earth, or two, all the capital on earth, what would you choose? Well, you'd be a hell of a lot smarter if you chose to have all the labor on earth at your disposal than all the capital on earth. Because it's not going to do you a bit of good, okay, to have all that, and nobody's going to lift a finger for it. They don't want the capital. Okay, they say, no, my labor is infinitely more valuable than your damn capital. So you keep your capital, and I'll keep my labor. Thank you very much. Money, a means to facilitate exchange, or money, a means to facilitate enslavement. Well, everybody knows what I believe. It's the latter. Devilish details of deliberately induced division in America. Title of the last series of videos. If I could invisibly approach anyone I wanted, just to put my arm around them, to comfort them, I would love that. You know, I really would. There's so many people I think I would love to comfort, just to be an invisible force. And, you know, God's got his hand out there. The Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, the comforter, the counselor, the encourager is there for all of us, all around us to tap into at any given time. We can lift up a prayer to God, and he's there to comfort us. We got friends everywhere, man, and it's invisible. But you know what? A lot of who we are is invisible. Our thoughts, our imagination is invisible. Okay? And great things come from thought and imagination. Capitalists must let communists know that they understand why they hate capitalism. And conversely, communists must let capitalists know they understand why they hate communism. Just being honest. Be honest with each other. Let's come together and thwart the division these people are trying to. They want us at each other's throats increasingly.